Hey everyone, this is Kevin, your failed journalist, and today I want to talk a little bit more about the Case Closed Episode 0 upcoming Blu-ray release. Now, I had just found out about that the last time I made a video about this topic, and truthfully, the information was kind of new, but kind of not-ish. As always, my friends from Save Case Closed reached out to kind of clue me in on some of the things that were going on. By the way, guys, remember when I used to write Case Closed articles for Examiner.com because I was like the comic book examiner? Times have changed, haven't they? But anyway, so we have new information about the Case Closed dub that I want to discuss. What it is, why it exists, and what it means going forward. So from the looks of things, it looks like Bang Zoom, a dubbing company, was hired to produce this dub. They have also made dubs for movies 21 and 22, and there are rumors that they are dubbing movie 20 as well. We don't know for sure whether or not this means that Case Closed is going to get a new lease on life. Chances are this is a little bit of a testing ground. But again, if you want more Case Closed, you have to do your part and you have to actually buy these discs when they come out. It turns out that, yes, they will be reverting back to the original Japanese names, and unfortunately, they will not be using, to my knowledge, any of the original Funimation voice actors. Now, that's going to hurt more in some areas than it will in others. There's a couple of Funimation voice actors who were so good in their role, I actually prefer them to the Japanese version. Thankfully, we do have a trailer for what the upcoming dub is going to look like, and I'm going to do a brief little reaction to that trailer, some quick thoughts on the dubbed voices. For the record, I do know that 3 of the dubbed voice roles include Wendy Lee as Conan, Christina V as Ron/Rachel, and Griffin Burns as Shinichi. Beyond that, I don't know who else is going to voice. And I will say that Griffin Burns definitely has a large shoe to fill because I think Jerry Jewell was actually the perfect Shinichi Kudo, although he was called Jimmy Kudo. So I'm going to watch this trailer. I haven't seen it before, and I'm going to, by the way, react to it the proper way you're supposed to react to things. We're not going to do it Suzy Liu style. Sorry, I couldn't resist on that one. So without further ado, let's take a look at this trailer.
In 1996, anime fans were introduced to an amazing new hero, the world's finest detective, in short pants.
Wow, I actually like the way this trailer starts because it kind of brings back memories of when TVs were square and they had the DVD player or VHS player inside the TV. That's always fun. You know what it kind of reminds me of? It reminds me of that old Star Wars Special Edition trailer. You know the one I'm talking about?
For an entire generation, people have experienced Star Wars the only way it's been possible. On the TV screen. But if you've only seen it this way, you haven't seen it at all.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of that.
20 years later, Detective Conan's origin is retold, like you've never seen it before.
Jeez, has it actually been 20 years? I mean, granted, it's not been 20 years in the States, obviously, but wow, nothing makes you feel old than realize that you've been watching a show for a good portion of your life and it's still going.
Well, thank you for your kind assistance yet again, Mr. Kudo.
Okay, so right from the bat, we have Inspector McGuire. I don't know if he's still going to be called Inspector McGuire. I'm not familiar with his Japanese. I'm still reading the English manga, and they're using the English name still. But my reaction to that voice is it's okay. I probably prefer the Funimation dub voice, but it's okay. It's one of the things that I liked about the Funimation voice is that it didn't sound like the stereotypical fat detective. It sounded like a very normal voice. This sounds a little bit more stereotypical than I would like, but it's not terrible. So just say that.
Shinichi is a renowned high school detective who has helped the police solve a number of seemingly unsolvable cases.
All right, and that's Serena's voice. I don't know what her Japanese name is. I'm sorry, I've been watching the dub all this time. I mean, I have been watching it subtitled on Crunchyroll, but old habits are hard to break. So anyway, Serena's voice is fine. Serena's voice is fine. I don't see too much of a difference. It's a good job on that one.
You suck That always happens when I spend time with you. What's Tropical Land? Where is this wondrous dreamland?
And, okay, so Ron's voice might take some getting used to. It's one of those dub voices in this one where it's like, no offense to the voice actress. It sounds like she's trying to be high-pitched. And interestingly, she sounds more like the Japanese voice actress now. I acknowledge that. But again, maybe it's just old habits are hard to break. I prefer she sound a little older, like an actual teenager. But, that said, it's not terrible. I could definitely get used to it.
Hold it! This was not an accident.
We don't have any more time to play along with this little detective game of yours.
Go home without me, okay? I'll catch up with you really soon!
Alright, I am relieved to report I do like Shinichi's new voice. It's not Jerry Jewell, it's different, but that is definitely a good voice for the character. So I'm definitely happy with that voice, and which I'm relieved because that's one of the main voices we're going to be spending the next 800 episodes with, if in fact the show does come back to be dubbed on, a more grander scale other than just a few movies.
I was shrunken down by poison!
Conan Edogawa. I'm a detective.
Okay, I'm sorry. I love Wendy Lee, I really do. I think she's one of our best voice actresses out there, but this does not sound right. This does not sound like a little boy. It sounds like a woman, like a grown woman trying to sound young and not really pulling it off. I'm sorry. Maybe when watching it longer, maybe it'll get better, but in just this little brief period that I've seen it, this is not good. This doesn't sound right.
Case Closed, Episode 1.
And that's the trailer. So, anyway, what are my thoughts? For the most part, it sounds fine. I like Serena's new voice. I do like Shinichi's new voice. Ron's voice. I like Agasa's voice. I know we didn't really show it, but I like Agasa's voice. Ron's voice is okay. I could get used to it. Same thing with McGuire. Right now, the biggest problem I have with this is Conan. I don't think Conan's voice is good. Now, granted, I might change my mind as I have more time with it. These are little bits and pieces of the dub, but it just sounds wrong all around. Definitely prefer the Japanese voice and the original English voice actress. What I'm most curious about, and I did not see this isn't in the trailer, I'm curious on what Mori's voice is going to sound like. Because in my opinion, the Funimation Mori, aka Richard Moore, was definitely the best voice for the character I've heard. I've actually never even liked his Japanese voice, so I'm really curious to find what Boomzang Entertainment does with his voice. Other than that, you know what? Hey, beggars can't be choosers. It sounds like it's going to be a very competent dub. It's going to be different, obviously, but I'm just happy to have any new Case Closed legally available to buy in the US. Now, some of you have actually commented on the last video that you were disappointed that there were not more formats this was being released in because you'd like to support the release. Guys, even if there's only one format, you can still support the release. It's really easy. Just buy multiple copies of the Blu-ray release and give them out to friends for Christmas or birthday or whatever. You can do all that. So, anyway, that's my thinking on that. It'll be interesting to see what the dub ultimately sounds like as a whole. I might do a little video review of it at that time, who knows, but in the meantime, what do you think of all this? Do you think this sounds good? Do you think it sounds bad? I'd love to know. Comment below, like, favorite, share, subscribe, and as always, flame responsibly. Have a good one.